Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends. So I've been waiting to get along to this, and I just want to talk about Dune Prophecy for a little bit. So I'm only 2 episodes in. I've been pretty busy, as you guys know, giving you guys all these news updates. So I don't have much time to watch a lot of television, but I was able to watch 2 episodes. This show has been airing on HBO Max. I believe we are getting to episode 5. I want to say there's 8 episodes total. So if you've watched Dune Prophecy all the way up to this point, you're halfway through the season. Some of the viewers out there may have seen more than I have seen. But like I said, I've only seen 2 episodes. I plan on watching maybe a couple episodes tomorrow night just to catch up with what I have missed. But so far, watching the show, I've heard mixed reviews from a lot of people online. I've spoke on Dune Prophecy a couple times leading up to the release of this show after The Penguin. And I have to say, overall, with the first 2 episodes that I have watched, I'm not going to say it's the best show of all time, but I give it a solid 7.5 to be quite honest. We have to understand that this is not following Paul Atreides at this point. This is 10,000 years before Paul Atreides. I would say a couple things that I don't like about the show overall, and then I'll praise a couple things that I do like. But the things that I'm not really liking too much is the fact that there's a lot of jumping around between characters, and they don't establish strong characters. There's no one character that you need to follow. The show starts with them leaning into that, but as you get through episode 1 and 2, you start to see an ensemble of other characters that come into the fold here. I've said to Kage offline that, to me, rather than this feeling like a Dune film, which is what we've seen from Denis Villeneuve, this feels more akin to the sci-fi Dune series, and I actually saw a little bit of that too. The reason I say that is because that series, it does jump around from character to character. Obviously, it's the same Paul Atreides story, but there's a lot of people that are very important. And I feel like in this show, they're trying to make certain characters important, but they're not giving them enough nourishment and enough time on screen or character development for you to actually grow to like these characters or have a reason to watch the show and be entertained for whatever character they throw out there. They really bring up the sisterhood of the Bene Gesserit. That's a big staple of the show, but most of the time they don't even talk about the inner workings of the Bene Gesserit. Like I said, only 2 episodes. Maybe they've done more going in after episode 3 and 4, so I'm still curious to see how everything unfolds. I'm giving the show a chance. Overall, I don't think this show is going to impact the Dune films, to be honest. I think if you're not really into Dune that much, all you care about is the Dune cinematic universe that you're seeing on the big screen. These books don't follow Frank Herbert's story. I believe they're his son's story, so they're not going to be 100% as good as Frank Herbert's stories or connect directly, although his son is probably doing his best. It would be very interesting to see those books that his son has written and see how they've actually adapted that live. Like I said, I don't think the show is terrible. It's watchable. There's a couple things that hurt this show. One, you've seen this type of storytelling and jumping around between characters with Game of Thrones. And another thing is it's following The Penguin, which was a great show that came out on Max afterwards. So even if this show isn't 100% knocking it out of the park, it's going to look like it's lesser than because The Penguin was just so good. But like I said, overall, watching what I've seen so far in Dune Prophecy, it's not that bad. I just wish that they would focus on some specific characters and really stick to them. Although they do like to try to tell you, hey, this character is going to be a big character in this story, they don't give them the character development that you would want to see if you're trying to build out a world outside of what we know in Dune already. There is a cool villain in this show, and a lot of people can be seen as villains or anti-heroes in Dune, but there is a cool guy there. He has these psychological powers that he's using that the Bene Gesserit can't seem to figure out. And so when I watch episode 3 and 4, hopefully they delve more into his background. I'm definitely hoping to see some of that. What else do I like? I love the visuals. I think the visuals don't fall off much from the films. Obviously, the films are a little more crisp in how the scenes are shot. The direction is better and the dialogue is way more sharp. But like I said, it's not terrible. But the visuals are a good aspect of this show to me. There's a lot of things that you didn't see in the Dune films that they actually place in this show that I thought were cool visually. Especially that first episode was very intrigued with a lot of those visual aspects that they had, especially with the set pieces and the tech that is used in this series. So I was really impressed with that. There's a lot of things happening in this show, which I actually do like. When you can watch a show and it might be 45 minutes to an hour, but it feels like it's a 2-hour movie, to me, that's a good thing. I think there's a lot of details that some people miss if they're not really paying attention on a high level. And also, I feel like it's a good thing that you can feel like you're getting your money's worth, I guess, from the show, because there is so many things going on and it is action-packed every time. Now, when I say action-packed, I don't mean action sequences. I just mean there's a lot of information that's being shown within each episode. So like I said, I've only gotten to episode 1 and 2, and that's how I feel about the series so far. If I had to rate it, yes, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Not the worst, but not the best. I do think it's worth the watch, especially if you are into Dune. If you're not into Dune, you probably will not care for it much. It is not necessarily a slow build, but it's not going to be one of those films that's boom, 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 action, action, action. There's a lot of character building, but not strong character building, because like I said, they jump around. So they really do need to work on centering these characters and building them up. But that doesn't mean that they're not trying to do it. They're just not doing it very well. So there is some character building. House of Carino, they're a big powerhouse. Obviously, the Harkonnens, the Bene Gesserit, the Atreides family, and even some Fremen there. So definitely a melting pot overall if I had to describe it 2 episodes in. But I think I'll leave this video here until I watch a couple more episodes. I'll definitely be able to give you a more in-depth take on this show with the halfway point through the season. Once I return with that, we can have more dialogue on the show overall, and I'll let you know if my score has changed overall. But if I had to recommend it, I'd just say, hey, don't expect it to be the films, because it is not the films, and don't expect it to be the Penguin, because it is certainly not the Penguin. But overall, guys, if you've been watching Dune Prophecy, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Like this video if you did like it. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications so you keep getting news, reviews, and movie updates from me, Neff. Ask some friends to subscribe as well if you share this video and some videos in our catalog with them. And as always, be safe. It's Neff signing off.